Pisces placements. Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, or Stellium. Let's do your reading. If you want a private reading, the link to that is in the description box. Let's see, Pisces. Okay. This soulmate of yours is so stubborn. And you know, I have a feeling they know exactly who you are, even if they are not spiritual, you know. There are a lot of people that, you know, don't believe in spirituality, but they know the term of soulmate. This is a stubborn person that is resisting everything that connects them to you. At least on an energetic level. I feel like on an emotional level, they also know who you are. Maybe mentally they are resisting because they're trying to change the term. Like they're trying to dictate who you are to them. Instead of a soulmate, they're trying to, I don't know, turn you into an enemy perhaps. Because it seems like they don't want you as a soulmate. But you are. So what you gonna do about it? Like it feels like they're resisting you with everything they've got so that they aren't your soulmate. You know, I'm sensing that there's something here that it offends them. Maybe the fact that maybe they're the type of person that doesn't want to acknowledge a soulmate connection because it's not something that aligns with their logic. You know, like some logical people, I don't even call them logical, but that's what logic is known as. Some logical people are people that thinks, you know, spirituality or soulmates, feeling beyond the facts is like woo, you know. It's like it's weird, it's strange, it's idiotic. But actually I see that this person is the idiot. Because even though they feel it on a deep level that you are someone very important to them, even if it makes no sense that you are, they resist it. They don't want to identify with it. Because if they did identify with it, then who are they? You know, it would hit their personality, it would hit their character. And they're not about to change their character for you. So because you are their soulmate, you are the last person they want to be with. Which is really idiotic. Because if you weren't their soulmate, they would probably not resist you as much as they are now. I don't know why I'm getting this, but you know, this seems like, you know, back in the days, you know, in the 1800s, where witches were burnt on a stake. And the last thing you want to do as a witch or as a herbalist or whatever you were, the last thing you want to admit or shout that you are a witch, because you will get burnt at the stake, right? So for some reason, this person believes that if they acknowledged you as a soulmate, then there is something at stake here that will be sacrificed. Maybe it's their reputation, maybe it's their friends, maybe it's their family. You know, if they, possibly if it's people, you know, they could have friends, family that will laugh at them if they were to be seen with you, or if they were to hear that you are their soulmate, therefore that's why they want to be with you. You know what I mean? So there is something about, it's almost like you're showing up as a threat to this person's identity. And this is why they are resisting you with all their power. so that they don't have to identify with it, identify with the soulmate connection that they feel with you. Like, this is a person that I call a limited person. When I say limited, it's a nice way to call someone an idiot. Limited. And the limitation here is them being so stuck in their way of thinking that if they were to allow themselves to change their beliefs, then it's a threat to their identity. It's basically the ego feeling threatened here, you know, because the ego likes to identify with the identity so much so that it prevents people from growing. So, in a way, when a person doesn't change, they become stubborn, right? Because in change there is growth. That's why this person is stubborn. They're so stuck on what worked for them before you showed up in their life. Which is, you know, life without a soulmate. And it was easier, it was accepted, it was great. And then you showed up and you messed them up. You messed them up in a way where their beliefs are changing because what they feel towards you is very strong, very stronger than their thoughts. So they're struggling, Pisces, they're struggling. I feel like the struggle that they are experiencing is because they are stubborn. Okay, because you could, you know, like see the situation and like, huh, interesting, I never experienced this type of connection before. I guess that's what people talk about when they talk about soulmates. They probably made fun of people that called, you know, their partner soulmate. And now, since you showed up in their life, they're like, I'm not going to be one of those. I'm not going to be laughed at. I'm not going to be one of those that believe in nonsense. And they suffer because of it. Which is very fitting if you ask me. It's like you're so fucking stubborn that you're willing to sacrifice your happiness just to be right or just to avoid being laughed at. The attraction that they feel towards you is not just physical. Your souls are literally calling each other. It's kind of like, I'm going to give you an example, which is, I mean, try to relate to the energy that I'm pulling here. So it's like, imagine you are an atheist. And you're like shouting your whole life, there is no God, I don't believe in gods, or I don't believe in anything, there, you know, we die and there is nothing, blah, blah. And then, all of a sudden, you experience a godly experience, you experience something very spiritual, you experience a miracle, you experience like something that cannot be explained by science or logic or facts. Your whole belief system should change, but sometimes people are so worried about changing their belief systems and going against what they identified with their whole life and changing that because of that experience. Let's say if an atheist experienced a miracle, they will call it coincidence. Even though they know deep down it was definitely a miracle. There is no fucking way that it was a coincidence. It was too good for it to be a coincidence. It was too much of a design for it to be a coincidence. They will still call it a coincidence, even if they don't really believe that. Do you understand where I'm going with this, Pisces? Like, this person, they're annoying and stubborn. They know that you are their soulmate, but they will not fucking admit that. And they will push you as far as they can. And they will resist you as far as they can. As much as they can. And they will live with that sacrifice. They will live with the idea of you not being anything to them when you are everything as a soulmate. So they are willing to live in this suffering than to risk changing their beliefs, than to risk people laughing at them. You know what, Pisces, fuck this idiot. I mean, not all soulmates are clever. Because you expect a soulmate to be like, wow, yeah, well, some of them are idiots. Interesting. They will have to go through a couple of awakenings, and I say couple, maybe even more than that. They will have to go through a couple of awakenings for them to shed and strip this false identity that they're holding on to as much as they can. Because I see that this person is going to be stubborn to the point where they will hit a brick wall. It's like access denied. You're gonna have to go back and work on yourself. And maybe this wall will fall when you come back. But with the level of consciousness that you have, you cannot proceed. And so, like, I feel like they will be cornered by the universe. I feel like the universe will put them in a situation where they cannot escape themselves. And that usually happens through isolation or through tragedy, through loss of some kind. That will, I mean, maybe they will be hit on their head a few times for them to rebalance the chemistry in their brain, for them to restart and reevaluate and relearn. Because whatever that they have learned about life, they are holding on to for dear life. Because if they do let go, then who am I? What am I? Everything that I stood by was false. And they don't want to live with that fact. This is why they're resisting you with everything they've got. But at some point in their life, could even take years, they will be forced to change their beliefs. They will be cornered. Until then, that's what you have here. Until then, you know, there is the high possibility that at some point, you and them will meet again. And that will happen when this person has changed. They will not change while you're with them, nor after you left them or after you separate. They will continue to be stubborn and try to block you out. But at some point, they will be forced to face this false identity that they identify with, so much so that it prevents them from growing. Once they have these couple of awakenings to slap them, they will be forced to reevaluate and unlearn, relearn, and then with that change. Once that happens, there is a huge possibility that you will meet again, even if you meet in an unexpected way. You could be traveling into a foreign country and they will see you there. It's random. It's not about you meeting each other in the same spot where you met. It will be orchestrated that you meet again. Now, of course, you will have the choice to either accept or reject. That's your free will. But I feel like, you know, this is not really over. I mean, it's a soulmate. But they're going to have to go away and learn a few things before they get to be with you, if you choose to accept them. Okay? Alrighty, well, that was your first message. I'm going to pull you another message, Pisces. The second message is for Pisces extended members, but I'll give you a preview before. Why are you twitching your tail? Before we take it there, okay? We're both stretching, huh? She's so particular when it comes to petting her. She's like, don't touch me like that, touch me like that. What is that? Is that your back bone? Damn. Why is it so sharp? Your back is so sharp, baby. Have you been practicing martial arts? So strong. All right, let's do your second message. Cat hair. It's flying in the air. And that rhymes. So clingy. Night, you're gonna make me sleep with your purring. Are you done? You're not done? Nice, stop. All right, let's see, Pisces. Second message. Aye! Why did you bite me? Because I wouldn't pet you some more? I'm in a toxic relationship. You see that? She bit me. So, okay. You have someone here that is delaying the connection between the two of you because there's someone else. There's third party here. You could be wondering, like, oh my god, the connection between us is great. What's the hold up? Like, why is it taking so long? Why is this person like taking their time? It's because there's another one. There's another person here. There's another person. Baby, you are not the only one here. And I do see that this person is interested in you. So I see that they are trying to get rid of the person that they have. Or the other person, let's say. But they need time. And they could be telling you, you know, I'm just trying to figure things out, or my life is a mess right now, so I really would appreciate if you were patient with me, blah, blah, blah. They're trying to buy some time to figure out how to get rid of the person that they are currently with. And you know what's fucked up about this, Pisces? That the person that they have is actually a good person. But the person you're dealing with is greedy. It's like, there's nothing wrong with the person that I'm with, but I'm not Pisces. You know what I mean? It's like, so what did you get with the first person? It's like, yeah, well, they're okay, but I also want Pisces. There's the possibility that this person will try to keep you and keep the other person, but maybe they need more time to figure that out. We'll see where it goes in the extended. The extended link is in the description box. I'll see you there.